Hello and welcome. This is Blockchain Bloom, the blockchain educator. I'm helping you, and in today's video, I'm going to talk about that the countdown has started for many crypto firms in the EU, as they have 10 days left until the 1st of July to get the MiCA license. And for example, Binance, the biggest cryptocurrency exchange, still not has a MiCA license, and they just have 10 days left. So it's very important to talk about that. But also, let's talk about the market, because, you know, the negotiations are still on between Iran and the US. There are things they have signed, but on the other hand, it's a kind of shaky situation, to be honest with you. Then let's talk about the fact that, Stretch MicroStrategy's product is falling, went down significantly last week, and people started to get worried that what kind of impact it could have on the Bitcoin price. And I'm also going to talk about other things like, what are the chances for rate cuts or rate hikes, because a rate cut, it's kind of out of the way now. We're talking about keeping the rate like this, or we're talking about a rate hike at the next FOMC meeting, which is going to be at the end of next month. And also, let's talk about Kevin Warsh's new policy, how he would like to lead the Fed, and many other things I'm going to talk about in this video. So guys, don't forget, every single day I'm bringing you the freshest cryptocurrency and blockchain news here on Blockchain Bloom to keep you up to date. Mostly, I'm making short videos, the essence of the news, less than 60 seconds. But every single Monday, I'm making these summary videos, basically what is important on the market if you would like to follow it. So if you would like to keep yourself up to date, then very simple, just subscribe to this YouTube channel and hit the like button if you like this kind of content. And now let's do it. Okay, and first let's move on to the prices. Let me refresh this. And we can see that basically Bitcoin is up 1.7% in the last 24 hours, 1.5, okay, let's keep changing. Ethereum 2.5 up in the last 24 hours. We have DEXI up 17%, Venice token 10%, Lighter 9%. But we also have, for example, Humanity, which started to dump, now 20% down in the last 24 hours. Jupiter 3% down, Beat 2%, so no major downs today. And when we're looking at the Bitcoin candlestick chart, we can now see on the daily that the Bitcoin started to go up again, towards this resistance level. And when we're looking at on the weekly, we kind of being around here on around this 200 week moving average, but every single week we closed above it. Either we went under it, we closed above it. So far it's working like a nice support. And but doesn't mean that Bitcoin cannot go further down, but it's not very strong to move up, so kind of moving like sideways. And if you're looking at the big picture, what happened here, we had the crash, then we started to go sideways a little bit here, crash, then sideways a little bit up, and now the similar situation can happen. But we have to watch closely, because when the trend change, but right now when we're looking at the big picture, we are in a downtrend. And when we're looking at the S&P 500 on the weekly, before last week, no new all-time highs. Also the same with Nasdaq, no new all-time highs last week. And when we're looking at the overall mood, then we have the fear and greed index around 20. So this is extreme fear. And when we're looking at the inflows, outflows from Bitcoin spot ETFs, then mostly we have outflows, and we didn't have anything on the 19th last Friday, because the last one it was the trading day on the 18th on Thursday last week. So we'll see what's going to happen today on Monday. But here we have the situation, that the negotiation is sometimes, going well, sometimes not. Sometimes Trump saying that everything is fine. Sometimes they saying that, okay, if Iran going to do this and that, we're going to be even more harsh. So I still see this as an uncertainty on the market. Nothing has been decided, and we learn from the past. Doesn't matter if they say something, it can happen actually that after that, next day, they're going to say the opposite. Okay, so I think we're still in this situation. That's very, very important. And another thing is that, we can close this one. Let's look at this here. So we have MicroStrategy, and MicroStrategy is the biggest company who is owning Bitcoin, more than 800,000 Bitcoin we're talking about. And they have different kind of products, just like Stretch, which they're selling, and the money comes in, they're buying Bitcoin with it. But recently, Stretch depegged quite heavily from its $100 peg where it's supposed to be. We have seen this a couple of times in the past, once in November, once we have seen it in February, but we haven't seen such a big one. And we see what's going to happen this week, but last week was pretty bad when they closed the market. And the question is now, can they actually come back? And well, to be honest with you, MicroStrategy is quite, secure this position in a way that they have like tons of Bitcoin, they have plenty of cash, paid the dividends, and so on and so forth. But still, the model is interesting because Michael Saylor was talking in this interview about it. That, listen to it, it's just the beginning.
First treasury credit instrument like Stretch. When we did Stretch, I designed all these with AI. I couldn't have done it myself. I literally sat and I used artificial intelligence and I went back and forth with the AI for a few hours. And
so you were just on ChatGPT, just like the rest of us, figuring out how to design these different offerings.
And arguing with it and saying, can I do this? Can I do that? And
so that was kind of a shock for the market in a way that he couldn't come up with this kind of thing. And he simply used ChatGPT and designed Stretch. And people started to questioning it that, if it's just made by AI and AI is making tons of mistakes, how great is this? And plus, we have this DPEG now. So, questions. Do they have to sell MSTR to save it? Do they have to increase the dividend or, anything? Sell Bitcoin, for example. So that's the question what the market right now has. We're going to see what's going to happen, but this also had an impact on the price not going up, put it this way. Okay, the other thing I wanted to talk about, and this is quite important for people in the EU, because big exchanges, for example, Binance, hasn't secured its MiCA license. They, handed it in Greece, and they have 10 days left. On the 1st of July, they have to own it to continue with the European clients. And, basically, Europe could lose 83% of its crypto industry in the next 10 days or after that, because there are tons of crypto companies. They couldn't secure their MiCA license, and that was the deadline. They got basically a year and a half to get it, and there are a lot of crypto companies, they got it, but we still have these guys, and Binance is a major big one, the biggest in the world, and still don't have a MiCA license. So that's very, very interesting. So the countdown kind of have started already. And when we're talking about Europe, other things in Europe which are not like that crypto friendly and that innovative, that Europe's new AML regulation taking effect in next year. So 1 year from now, in July, in 2027. And it caps cash payment at 10,000 euro, bans anonymous crypto accounts, and requires regulated providers, which get a MiCA license, to delist privacy coins. So the situation for European crypto users is getting tighter and tighter, less opportunities, less chances, and you can hold private coins, but you cannot really trade them. And so it's all about control, I believe, here in Europe, going forward with the digital euro and so on and so forth. So this is the situation here. Some part of the world is going for the innovation part, being crypto friendly, making life a bit more easier for crypto people. Here in Europe, the opposite is kind of happening. They're not banning crypto or something, but they kind of hard regulations going on. Okay, and well, another important thing is the new direction of the Fed. And last week we had the FOMC meeting, and a lot of people already talked about it. Basically, bottom line is that the 2% target for the inflation is still the target. And the very important one is here that the Fed will no longer tell you in advance what it plans to do with interest rates. So no guidance will be given in the future with leader Kevin Warsh, being the Fed chair now. And here, look at this one. The chances now, last year, beginning of the year, we talked about when there could be, rate cuts. And now we're not talking about anymore. We're talking about keeping the rate like it is, just like it happened last week, or actually increase the rate. And now the chance that in the next FOMC meeting at the 29th of July that they're going to increase the interest rate is 36%. For September, the chance is even higher, 52 almost, for interest rate increase. So now the situation is changing with Kevin Warsh, and this is very, very interesting because a lot of people thought that, okay, if he is suggested by Donald Trump, and Trump asked always Jerome Powell to cut the rates, now we're going in that direction, but looks now the opposite is kind of happening. So this brings a lot of uncertainty as well on the market. Okay. Another one is we have 20% of Bitcoin miners are now unprofitable, because simply Bitcoin mining, the price is just simply too low, and public miners sold 32,000 Bitcoin in Q1 just to fund operation. So this is always a situation with the bear market. And this guy, it's also very interesting, is the governor of Illinois, and he signed a law that will impose 0.2% tax on the use of digital asset services, including exchanges, transfer between wallets, or custody activities. So basically, even if you have your own wallets, you're not selling your crypto, you're sending to another address, for example, you still have to pay tax. And the law takes effect on the 1st of January 2027. So people also judge this kind of decision, but this is not what the crypto and the crypto freedom is all about. So yeah, we'll see. But one state in the US is going in this direction. And I think these were the most important things what happened in the last couple of days, and that's what I wanted to summarize. And don't forget that if you would like to keep yourself up to date, it doesn't matter if it's a bear market or the bull market, I'm here for 6 years. Then simply just subscribe to this YouTube channel, and I'm going to bring you the short videos. Again, save you time, the essence of the news, less than 60 seconds every single day. But on Mondays, you're getting these longer videos when I go more in depth. So if you don't want to miss anything, simply subscribe, hit the like button if you like this kind of content, and see you in the next one. Have a good one. Bye-bye.